How y'all been? It's Yin, and welcome back to another episode of the ZolYin podcast. I'd like to apologize for not being up to date. Unfortunately, I've been on the road this whole time. So, as a result of that, I had to realize I'm just going to have to record from the phone. Just do it live, just do it live. No edits. It is what it is. So once again, I humbly apologize. I thought there'd be more time to actually go back home, go back to my office, my recording studio, and actually record the old-fashioned way. Unfortunately, that's not a reality. I'm just going to have to do it this way. I was supposed to be back home last week. To do it. And it didn't happen. And that's just kind of the pattern of February and March. Things kept getting pushed back, work-wise, work-related. So, once again, humbly apologize. So, now that that's out of the way, we got a lot of things to talk about. Okay, a lot has changed, and a lot of good things have happened. And a lot of wonderful changes are going to be happening for the podcast so that you can have more content. Here's what I'm going to do. First of all, what we're going to do is you're going to have a more scheduled podcast thing. It may not be polished. It may not be recorded on the mic. It may definitely not be edited. Okay, I'm going to just be 100% out of the gate, upfront, honest with you. It's just going to be pure, unadulterated content. And this is going to be different because I'm not used to doing it that way. I'm not used to recording content that way at all, especially podcasts. Video, maybe I can just, just point and click and do the thing and be done with it. But to me, editing has always been a favorite feature of mine just because you have a nice, neat package that's put together. I mean, some of my favorite episodes were clean edits, like beautiful, well done edits, very polished, okay? Now, that also means I'm going to be fighting my perfectionism because this is like the 18th version of this episode, okay? I'm going to just let you know right now. I recorded 17. I didn't like them. I'm like, oh, I hate this. So, you'd think I would be better by now doing it live, but I think there's something about doing it on the phone that just kind of, I don't know, it doesn't help at all. But that's fine. It is what it is. I'm confident enough in the product that you'll get something good. I'll hopefully get something good at the end of this. First thing I want to let you know, once again, we're going to do some scheduled shows a little bit more. It'll be easier as far as getting it done just because I'm going to be recording them either on a device on this device right here or through a microphone that I'm going to buy for the road. So it's hopefully going to be cleaner. You may not get music in the background or any of the fancy doohickeys I usually put in there. So apologies there. You might get a little bit more, slang, a little more accent out of me just because when I'm not in the studio, I'm not in that mode, that creative, announcer kind of voice kind of thing. So you're probably going to get more of the on the street me. So if you like that genuine version of me, that more, rough edge version of me, then, welcome aboard. Okay. Welcome aboard to the Rough Yin podcast. I'm just kidding. This is still the drive-in. Okay. This is still the drive-in. This is specifically the drive-in just because I'm on the road. I'm driving, not right now. I just pulled over so I could get you a nicer, cleaner, podcast. I mean, I could start the car right now if you like. Would you like proof? Here's some proof. How about that? You like that? There you go. Yeah. Let's turn that off. We don't need to turn that on anymore. All right, so anyways, once again, we're going to do some schedules. You'll get some consistent content. I'm going to be happy about that. Hopefully you will too. Another thing, I have an announcement to make. Okay, I won't make it on this one, but I'll make it on another episode. The next episode, I'll make the announcement. I don't want to spoil anything. I'm working on a couple of projects right now. Okay, aside from my book. The first one I want to announce is I'm working with the big YouTuber. I won't reveal anything more than that. It is, it's a story kind of thing. We'll see how it goes. I'm just going to put it out there and see how everything is. And, we'll see how it goes. If it turns out to be something great, I'll let you guys know more details. If it gets accepted. If not, it is what it is. We'll move on. The other thing is, I am now. This one I'm gonna announce. I am now in the crypto space. Okay, because I've actually low key been in the crypto space for a year. Okay, over a year. 2019, I bought my first bit of crypto, and I just been kind of like researching, investing, learning how, different types of crypto work. I've always been interested in it as a form of passive income. Cause again, this podcast is about the future, y'all. You have to understand. I'm doing big things back here. This podcast, you are on the ground floor. This podcast, you guarantee you right now, you are on the ground floor. If you're listening to this now, you are on the ground floor of something pretty big, okay? Nobody's doing what I'm doing, okay? I'm a writer doing the cutting edge technology stuff, okay? All these other writers, they're all about the YouTube, all the mainstream stuff. They're all into the mainstream. They're normies, okay? We're on the cutting edge in this podcast right here. You're listening to a man who is going into the unknown and doing creative things in the unknown, okay? The only people who rival me at this point in this kind of space are like legit just straight up artists, and that's because artists kind of are forced into it. It's not like they, no offense to artists, not poo-pooing any artists. I don't want anyone to think I'm poo-pooing any artists. I'm not. But let's be honest, artists are kind of forced into this technological space in order to compete with one another because it's an arms race for getting a jobs, customers, the content that they're putting out is a very visual content, and visual content online is just king. Okay, it is what it is. Now, for writing, it's not necessarily the case. It's a very cerebral medium. No matter what form it takes, it's very cerebral. Okay, so it's going to cater to a variety of different audiences. And for me, y'all know me. I am very specific. We do fantasy, action, supernatural horror. If anything, let's be honest, we kind of do a shonen thing, but on the West, right? In the West, right here, because we're in the West. We're not in the East. I'm very Eastern influenced. Not gonna take that away. Not gonna, hide from that. I'll let you guys know that all the time. I said that from the first episode on, The reality is a lot of the writers, once again, I'm going to say it again because it bears to be said. They're not on the cutting edge, and that's fine. That's everyone's choice. Everybody to each their own. But you're here on the ground floor of something new. I'm going to say it again because it's important for you to understand that nobody else is doing this. We out here doing it different. Okay. So the crypto space, I'm in it. I'm learning a lot. I have a great portfolio, not to brag or anything, but really the whole concept was, how can I expand the base? How can I cut out a space in this world, this internet space for me? And so that's what we're doing here. Because honestly, a book, a story is only as good or as effective as the people who read it. If people don't read it, then what good is a story? You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I would still do this if nobody was listening, if nobody was reading. I'd still do it because I love writing. I love telling stories. I love to read. It is what it is. Okay. So, and another thing, tomorrow's announcement. I said it. It's coming out tomorrow. If not today, I might just cut it. To be honest, y'all, I just got the mic today. I just got the notification earlier today, like about an hour ago, that the new mic came in. I can go pick it up from the post office and hook this bad boy up and record something a little better for the next episode where I make the announcement. We'll see. If you hear a crisper thing, then that's what it is. So that's one. And then finally, last but not least, before I let you go, I want to let you guys know we're going to pivot a little bit. Okay. We're going to add a fourth corner or piece to the puzzle. Remember, this podcast was about mindset. This podcast was about creating good stories, telling good stories, creating new worlds and all that stuff. And it was also about podcasting. So doing it through podcasting. So talking about podcasting and reaching out to people and, kind of the whole concept of podcasting, the podcasting medium, the podcasting space, the whole profession itself. I'm adding a fourth tier to that, and it involves crypto. You're going to hear about it tomorrow, okay, at the latest. Once again, I'm Yin at ZolYin.com. If you like this podcast episode, you can go ahead and please hit that like button if you're listening to it on Stitcher, SoundCloud, TuneIn Radio, and all those other places, Google Podcasts. If you're listening to it on iTunes, please hit the 5-star review. I highly, highly appreciate it. I will read the 5-star reviews. I'm just going to wait until I get enough, and then we're going to do a read of them. I appreciate that. Thank you so kindly. If you're listening to this on YouTube, also hit the like button. Thank you again. Appreciate it. And I have an email address. You can send any comment you'd like to the email at ZolYinPodcast@gmail.com. That's ZolYin podcast@gmail.com. Thank you. My website also has on the blog, it also has a place for the comment section. You can put that in there too if you're so inclined. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. God bless you.